You'll see it on the corner. Maybe 20 inches. So go up.
Appreciate it. No, that's all right.
Kelly's making mistakes.
Move a lot faster than I could talk. Well, you got to move him back.
Back.
Cause if I sit here, I won't be able to see him. That's good. The court is now in session and calls number 328274. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Nathaniel Mark Trenzy. Let the record reflect that Mr. Trenzy is before the court with his attorney, Mr. Wright Kimbler. State is present, the State Assistant District Attorney, Attorney Blake Ham. And let the record also reflect that the jury that was impaneled and seated in this court is now present. Mr. Kimbler, the state has been informed that Mr. Trenzy is entering a plea in this case. Is that correct?
Plea of guilty, Your Honor, in exchange for a plea bargain.
And Mr. Trenzy is waiving his right to a jury trial in this case?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trenzy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Trenzy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Trenzy, you may put your hand down. Mr. Trenzy, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about July 30th of 2020, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Trenzy, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, I do.
And to this charge, Mr. Trenzy, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Your Honor, state's elected to proceed on the lesser included Class B and abandoned enhancement.
Okay, so is that correct, Mr. Ham?
That's correct.
Okay, now, Mr. Trenzy, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, and what that basically means is you'll be charged with a Class B misdemeanor offense for driving while intoxicated instead of the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. And so to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which occurred on or about July 30th of 2020, while you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Okay. And you have to write on this document that the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph.
I'll put that on the first page. Your Honor.
I'm writing it on the misdemeanor plea admonishment.
All right. I think I checked B in there, didn't I?
Yes, well, it's in the wrong spot though.
Your Honor, just to be clear, even though it's a Class B, part of the plea bargain is that he'll have to have the interlock device in any vehicle he operates. And the plea paper should reflect that. As a condition for probation.
You go ahead and correct this one. Let me check that box right there. It's a Class B for DWIs, not a. Yeah. Now, Mr. Trenzy, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Now this document, if you notice the writing on the top states that the state abandons the enhancement paragraph. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's one box that's checked on this document. That box that's checked states driving while intoxicated, DWI first, Class B misdemeanor, and the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor DWI is confinement in jail for at least 72 hours, but not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000 of both such fine and confinement. That's the range of punishment for all DWI second, DWI first, which is a class B misdemeanor. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Now, on page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, NMT, that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, I did.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Trenzi, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is that your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, it is.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And Mr. Trenzi, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is.
Now, Mr. Trenzi, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Kimler, go over these documents with you?
Yes, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, I do.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trenzi, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. The misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Kimler, you have advised and counseled Mr. Trenzi. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
I believe that he understands the nature of the proceedings. Your Honor is capable of exercising his abilities to aid in his own defense. So in my opinion, he is mentally competent.
Okay. Mr. Ham,
Yes, Your Honor.
I accidentally erased your name.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trenzi,
Yes, Judge.
your attorney, Mr. Kimler, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
To the best of my ability, yes, he did.
Okay, Mr. Trenzi, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
I never received your paper.
Which is, it should be on here.
Is it on the MCCP?
It's
Yeah.
on
See,
Mondays.
it's on the document. It's, you gotta go back to Monday,
Um,
not today's date.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll get that typed up right now.
And Mr. Ham,
Yes, Your Honor.
what is the plea bargain agreement?
Your Honor, the plea bargain agreement is for 90 days in jail, probated over a term of 1 year, a $1,000 fine, 40 hours of community service, completion of the standard DWI education classes, drug and alcohol assessments as administered by the probation office. And Mr. Trenzi will be required to have an interlock device on any vehicle he drives
Okay,
for the term of probation.
okay. Mr. Kimball, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I could do this.
You want me to set the beginning of his probation to today or?
Today.
Do we have the information paperwork in here? It's not active.
No. She's typing it up.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Sir.
It doesn't show him as being appointed.
He's not appointed. He was hired.
Put the fee in. What?
Yeah, he was hired.
Hey, it's Elizabeth. Hey, can you take the appointment out of this case for me so I can touch his plea? Right, yes, but it's showing him as being appointed, but he was hired, so I can't type it. Right, yeah, it's weird. It is 328-274. Okay, thank you so much.
You know what his court cost is? Okay. Okay. Let me do this here. Okay, back in session, Mr. Trenzi, the state is offering that you serve 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $467, which comes to a total of $1,467. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $210. Mr. Trenzi, will you be able to pay the $210 each month while you're on probation?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Trenzi, you will be required to perform 40 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI class. You will also be required to have a drug and alcohol assessment, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And the state, as I stated earlier, is waiving the enhancement paragraph from a DWI with a breath alcohol test of 0.15 or more to a DWI first.
With your blood.
Yeah, with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.15 to just a DWI first. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Trenzi, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Trenzi, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Trenzi, you're going to move up to the window in front of the, yes, in front of our court clerk. She's going to get you to sign some documents. Once you finish at her window, Mr. Trenzi, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
I gave you directions to probation.
Yes, and you have to sign the document too. And then once you sign the documents, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Hi, Mr. Trenzi. Can I get your right thumbprint on that blue light located in front of you? Take your thumb off and place it back down gently. Thank you. You can remove your thumb.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And now,
Oh, you got that.
Yeah, I have the map right here. All right, now, Mr. Trinsley, can I go ahead and get your signature located on that signature pad in front of you? Oh, did it not pick up? Try it again.
You got it?
I think.
All right.
Okay, and Mr. Kimball, can I get your
Ready.
signature?
Ready?
Yes, sir. And now,
He's gonna be back to work. You're not gonna get him to
Did you,
just see.
did you need a signature?
Yeah.
I already got it.
Yeah, okay. All right. We'll see you later, Mr. Kimberly. You have a blessed day.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear that you've never before been given deferred adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any other state?
This court, yes.
Okay, just this one or something before this one? Okay, and you have no other pending charges that you're aware of?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Trinsley, you also have a cash bond that is ready to be refunded to you in the county clerk's office. They're going to be on the second floor directly below us. Make sure you have some form of photo identification in order for you to receive it.
It'll be on the first floor. It
Oh.
says second floor.
Oh, first floor, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
You gonna sign this?
no,
No, sir.
no, you can come, that's your, yeah. Yeah, we'll see you later, Mr. Trent, and see you later as
And
well.
You need to
Thank you,
report to
Judge.
the probation office as soon as you leave. So the paperwork's good.
Yeah, I just, I put and complete, I already put it on the judgment.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what you just witnessed was the case that was, it pled. The court was given notice over the lunch break that the case had, they had reached an agreement. However, you know, sometimes when they say they've reached an agreement, we have to make sure we still bring the jury in, because if they sometime in the interim change their mind, we let the jury go. We gotta retry the case. So we don't know until they actually sign on the dotted line and we get up here. And so, but I know y'all probably saying, oh man, we wanted to sit through this whole trial. But you just did, you sat through it. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times, you know, people think they waste their time because they didn't finish it to the end, but you did finish it to the end. And the reason why I say that is because of this. A lot of times individuals say they want a trial, they have a trial. And then we scheduled the trial, just like we were supposed to schedule it. The jury showed up, just like the jury was supposed to show up, but sometimes people think the jury may not show up or the witness not gonna show up. And when those things happen, and sometimes when they see the evidence, sometimes they have a change of heart. And so this is not unusual for those things to happen. And so on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, in behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, we'd like to thank you for taking time off from your busy schedule, because we could not move this case without people like you taking time off from your busy schedules to come down here to help us move these cases. Now, anytime you're in the area, please feel free to come to County Court at Law Number 2, see what goes on in your courthouse and in your courtroom. And the reason why I say it's your courtroom, I know you probably, when you was outside, you came here on the first day, you say, well, this is Judge Holmes' court, I'm in the right place. No, this is not my court. I'm only a public servant. This is your court. You're the citizens of Jefferson County who has elected me to be here. And so anytime you're in the area, come and have a seat in that area back there. We call that the peanut gallery, but it doesn't mean you can bring peanuts in here and eat. Not the Texas Roadhouse, but you can come and have a seat in that area and see what goes on in your courthouse and see what's going on in Jefferson County. And again, we'd like to thank you for taking time to visit with us, not just visit with us, but to serve the citizens of Jefferson County. And we like to thank you for that. Now, anytime you're in there, and I've been telling folks this all the time, we have some coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, I guess I would say that we have the best coffee in the courthouse. Okay, somebody might differ, but I think we got the best coffee in the courthouse. And so if anytime you're in the area, you can have some coffee with us. You can see what goes on in Jefferson County and see what goes on in County Court at Law number 2. This will conclude your jury service. And in a minute, we're going to put you in the hands of the bailiff, and the bailiff will be able to get you to the district attorney's office so that you can take care of the things that you need to do. You need to take care of. Behalf of Carla, our court reporter, behalf of Liz, our court clerk, behalf of Blake, Sonny, and Ray, prosecutors, and behalf of Charlie Porter, we'd like to thank you for being here today. Now, if you have any questions, if you want to talk to the lawyers, you do not have to, but you can. If you want to talk to them, if they want to talk to you, they can talk to you as well. But the last thing I like to do, I usually give a handshake. So I'm gonna give y'all an air handshake. Everybody get an air handshake. And so you're free to go. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask a question. But if you do not, you're free to go. And again, anytime you're in the area, please visit County Court at Law number 2. And again, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention. Now you'll be in the hand of our bailiff, Mr. Charlie Porter. And this will conclude our trial for today. Everyone, please have a blessed day.